Hello, what is up everybody? In today's video, these are the best badges in NBA 2K23 for current gen and next gen. Now with these badges, I'm going to show you how to activate them and why some of these badges are better than others, because some badges are harder to activate than others and some actual things lie on how they activate and how they don't activate. So this is how they activate them perfectly. So make sure to leave that like, hit that subscribe button if you want more bangers just like this. So we're going to go straight into the badges. I'm going to go through the best badges. So I'm going to go from the best ones that I have found, which activate the most and help your shooting percentage increase the most, because they activate on top of each other. So they stack on stack on stack. So you get a couple of these badges that stack on top of each other, which helps out tremendously. Some of these badges don't work at all. So when you got your tier 1 badges, the first tier 1 badge you want to rock with is guard up. Now guard up increases the ability to make jump shots when defenders fall to properly contest. Here is me doing it in my career. Here is a prime example of when guard up works. As you see, Lillard come off the screen, has his hands towards his side. It pops up. So he's not contesting you anyway, he's just sitting in front of you with his hands to his side, and then he does a late contest, which it pops up with guard up. As you guys can see on the screen in front of you, that's when guard up activates. As you see there, that's how I do it in my career. I like to use it on gold. You can use it in Hall of Fame, so increase the ability to make jump shots when defenders failed to properly contest. So when they're not putting their hands up or anything, they're just running into you like headless chooks, you know, that's how people used to play defense on 2K22. I like how they implemented this into the game. That's how they did it. Guard up, unless they put a hand in your face or jump into you, it's not going to count, and guard up will contradict that and make sure you hit the shot. Now the second one, now this one is the best one because it activates the most out of any tier 1 badge here, is actually volume shooter. I like to have it on silver. Now here's how it activates on my career. Now this is how volume shooter activates. As you can see, I've shot more than 2 shots. As soon as you shoot that second shot, volume shooter activates on every single shot that you shoot. So every time you shoot a shot and you miss, it goes up. The increase of the percentage goes up. Every time you make a shot, the increase increases more. So every time you miss a shot, it increases a little bit. But every time you make a shot, your percentage increases a fair distance. As you've seen on the screen, it activated because I shot more than 2 shots at once. So that's why I recommend volume shooter. The next best badge is the green machine badge. As you can see, I have actually called this badge because it activates so much. It's literally the best. So I'm going to try to activate it to get the Hall of Fame. You don't really need a Hall of Fame. Probably silver's the max you'll need it. I would recommend having at least bronze. It activates so often and it helps your green window greatly increase. So make sure to put green machine. This is how it activates. Okay, now here's how it activates. As you can see, I've greened more than 1 shot. This is the second shot that I'm gonna green. And after your second shot that you green machine will activate, and every green after the second green, it will keep increasing your shooting percentage farther and further and further and further far between. So probably starts at like 2.5%, then to 4%, then to 6%, then to 7%, then to 8%, so on, so on, so on. So keep hitting greens. It's going to keep increasing your 3-point percentage. Here's, as you've seen, I showed you proof in how it activated as well. So make sure to activate. In saying that, I've already got it cored, so you don't have to waste any more badge points. You save badge points. So I got an extra 3 badge points because I've cored that badge. That's what I like about coring the badge. Now, how to get the core badges? I hit about 150 green shots, so consecutive. So I shot a green, and then my second green activates, and I keep shooting green after green after green. You do it in my career, stack it up. You keep stacking it, stacking it, stacking it, and eventually you get your core badges. And I'm gonna eventually get that to hold it to silver, cored, and I can just sit it there, don't waste any more badge points until I get to the tier 3 badges where it costs them. The next best badge is Amped. Now, Amped is super must needed, especially if you're a point guard or if you use a lot of stamina. Here's how it activates on 2K. Okay, here's how Amped activates. So if you see how you have your adrenaline boost bars, as soon as you use 1 adrenaline bit of boost, it activates. Or if your stamina goes past the first adrenaline boost bar, that's when it activates as well. You shoot the shot. It's like Tyler's shooter, so you use a little bit of stamina. So a 1 adrenaline shot or adrenaline shot worth of stamina, and then you hit the shot or shoot it, it activates and helps you hit that shot, increase your percentage by a fair distance to make you hit that shot. Okay, with reducing the penalty of fatigue has on a player their ability to make shots, I like to chuck this bad boy on silver because it actually, as I said, it's stacking up with guard up, volume shooter, green machine, and amped. So at the moment, these 3 badges I'm stacking up: volume shooter, amped, and green machine, all at the same time. I keep stacking them, stacking them, stacking them. I only just unlocked this badge and actually found out about it. It's just Tyler Scorer, but better. Way better. The next badge is Comeback Kid. Boost your shooting ability when down in games. I don't really have to show you anything about that because it activates as soon as you're down. If you're down by 1 point, down by 2 points, it activates. Especially in the park, if it's like they're at 19, you're at 16, you shoot a 3, it activates. You put all these badges on it. Comeback Kid, increase your shooting. Probably makes you shoot an extra 5%, helps you hit that shot, opens your green window up. It's a must-have badge, which is Comeback Kid. Highly recommend it. Now we've got the tier 3 badges. Now, with tier 3 badges, I'm going to show you something with Limitless range real quick before I talk about it. Here's how it activates and how deep you have to actually shoot to activate it here in my career. Now, here's how to activate Limitless range. I'm going to slow it down for you guys right here. That is the distance on how far you have to shoot Limitless range. As you see, you have to shoot from near the P or the T on crypto.com arena sign. So basically, from the logo in the middle of the court is where Limitless range activates. So if you're not shooting from this far of a distance on park or rec center or anything, I wouldn't waste my badge points on Limitless range. That is the only spot that it actually activates Limitless range. So it's a fair distance. It's a long way back. If you're not comfortable shooting that distance, I would recommend just saving your badge points and putting it on something else. One of these other badges I'm going to recommend. What do you guys think about that with Limitless range? It's a bit sus, if you know what I mean. It should increase your shooting from from that white line there. See that white line on the right side? It should go from the M on crypto.com. Let's go straight back to the video. Limitless range really ain't worth it unless you're taking Damian Lillard, Trae Young, Steph Curry drug addict type half-court shot. So if you don't want to waste badge points on shooting really far deep, and you just want to shoot close to the 3-point line because you already know shooting is already impossible as it is. Not impossible, but hard as it is. I highly recommend doing that. But blinders, again, this is overpowered. I'm going to show you how it activates in 2K. Now here's where blinders activates. So as you guys can see, I'm going to call for a pick and roll. AD hits the screen and he comes from the side of me and he puts a late contest from the side of my shot. As you guys can see, the top right hand corner, it does pop up with blinders. That's how blinders activate. So as soon as you shoot the ball and they come from a peripheral vision, it pops up and that's how it activates. Okay, that's how it activates. I like to have blinders on at least bronze, but I'm going to chuck it on silver because obviously shooting's difficult and if someone can test you from the side, peripheral vision, you want to be able to knock that shot down. Now I've got a whopping 8 badges left. I still haven't unlocked all my badges, so I think shooting badges are a must. I like to have corner specialist on at least bronze. I don't have to show you how it activates. Self-explanatory how it activates. You shoot in the corner, it increases your shooting percentage from the corner. Your green window opens up. You shoot a higher percentage clip from the corner. Highly recommend using it. Now Midi Magician, that's another one I don't have to explain. As soon as you shoot from the mid-range, any type of the mid-range, it activates anywhere from the mid-range. Effectiveness, especially on pull-ups, spin shots, and fadeaways. It also works on stand-still mid-ranges, so you do a crossover, do a quick stop, shoot the mid-range, the Midi Magician activates. So for you big man, try Midi Magician out. It probably help you out, especially if you're a spot up, you like to shoot just mid-range fadeaways. You want to be like Tycino, shoot away fadeaway mid-ranges. Now, I want to talk about Space Create. It's not a badge I would recommend in the slightest. So it increases the ability to hit shots after creating space from the defender, as well as a cross up an opponent on step back moves. So it only works with Tycino type shots. If you've seen Tycino, he does a full step back, like he does a step back fadeaway 3. Or a step back fadeaway mid-range. That's the only time it activates. So if you do a normal step back like you're doing in my career to get the badges, it doesn't activate. You do a normal crossover into that step back, it doesn't activate. It has to be the Tycino type shot creating shot where Space Creator works. I've tried it. That's why I've got none of this. I don't do them type of shots. I tried the normal step back. I tried the normal crossover step back. I tried everything. And then I tried the Tycino shot and it activated. That's why I wouldn't recommend this badge. It's a bit of a waste of badge points, especially if you're scarce on badge points. Now, Agent 3 is the same as Space Creator, but it's just fadeaway 3s. So if you're doing spin 3s or fadeaway 3s on the 3-point line, put Agent 3 on, especially if you like to fade away from the corner. You add it on with Volume Shooter, Corner Specialist, Guard Up, all them badges all in one. That's when I would recommend Agent 0. Agent 3 is when you like Ticino. As I said, once again, I keep putting his name in there because he's the shot creator of the 2K community. So that's the only reason you would use Agent 3 is if you're doing fadeaway 3-pointers. If you don't do fadeaway 3-pointers, scrap it. Don't waste your badge points. Chuck it on. If you want to use your tier 3 badges, the tier 3 badges I'd recommend are Deadeye and Blinders. Deadeye, again, is like Blinders, but Deadeye is when you're shooting the 3 and they jump from like the 3-point line, they jump from the free throw line into your face. Obviously, they're going to get a little contest on you, but Deadeye will make sure it doesn't even activate at all. Self-explanatory once again. So these are the badges that I'd recommend. Again, if you don't have these badges, tell me in the comment section down below what badges you have, because these badges are useless. Claymore, useless. You might as well just choose Catch and Shoot. Catch and Shoot is the same as Claymore. Claymore, you have to wait an extra 2-3 seconds for it to activate. Unless you're just sitting in the corner camping there, don't even bother with the badge. Clutch Shooter, no really needed anymore. Comeback Kid is the new Clutch Shooter in my opinion, because when you're down, you only really need it when you're down. You already hit shots when you're up. It's pretty easy. Slippery Off Ball, once again, useless badge. So these are the badges ranked, in my opinion. Make sure to leave the like, hit the subscribe button. So I would recommend Volume Shooter is the best. Guard Up is the second best because it activates the second most. So Volume Shooter activates the most. Guard Up activates the third most. Green Machine activates the second most. Obviously, Amped averages the fourth most. It activates the fourth most. I just unlocked it. As you guys can see, I'm trying to get my core badge onto that. Then Blinders, it activates when they jump in your peripheral vision. Deadeye, once again. Agent 3 if you're doing fadeaway 3s. Midi Magician if you're a mid-range monster. And I wouldn't recommend Limitless Range unless you're shooting a far distance. But anyway, guys, that is today's video. This is my badge loadout, by the way. This is what I'm rocking with at the moment, if you guys wanted to know. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'm gonna get rid of Space Creator while I'm on top of it and see if I can get Deadeye, which I can't. I'm gonna put Guard up to Silver and see if I can still get it. I need one more badge point. I don't really need Comeback Kid because I'm just doing badges in my career, but I'll do that. But that is today's video, guys. Make sure to leave that like. If you have any other questions in the comment section, tell me, don't be scared to shoot them at me. I'll be able to help you out with the badges that you would recommend for your build. Make sure to leave that like, hit the subscribe button. Peace out, baby.